Okay, so we're gonna do a video. This video is me on the iPad again. If you're wondering what this is, it's just a dongle that here, I'll scoot it over so you can see it. It's just a USB-C headphone adapter. This is for power, and then this is where I'm running the two speakers out of. So that's all that is. If you're wondering on that, and then I want to talk about what I think is a where is it? A great use case for the LoopMix. So you probably have heard or seen some videos on this, and so I was trying to think of like what use cases I would use it for, and I think I could use it for a lot of different things. I mean, obviously you can remix a song, but one of the things I like about it, and I'll pull it up, I already kind of got it set up, is under user presets. So what I did was I took some, if you go into, here, let me do this for you. If you go into your files folder under your cloud, I think it's under the cloud. No, it's on the iPad actually. So on the iPad, there's a LoopMix folder, and these are shared samples. So what I did was I put all of my shared samples from the audio mix. Let me see if I can zoom in just a little more. Not all of them, but the ones I wanted, like hats, breaks, percussion, shakers, right? And then what I did was I put those in that folder, and then they show up under your samples. So you see samples, and if you click user, shared right here, not user, you see the shared, and that's where they are. So you'll see there's a sample tab, and then up here there's a presets and packs. So it comes with a bunch of packs and presets, and then I think you can buy some, if I'm not mistaken, but it comes with a bunch if you need those. I tend to like to use my own samples and things, so I used my shared stuff, which is under here. And then I loaded, I think on this one I loaded in breaks, and I loaded in 5, I think I did 5 different breaks. So let's pull it up actually. And here I saved it as a preset, so it's called Drum Break Fun. So if I open it, you'll see it's all this different screen. Now I'm not gonna go into explaining each button. You have stems, which will play each one of the stems or all of them at the same time. You have the sequencer, which can play all of them at the same time, or it can just play certain parts of the sequencer. And then you have remixes, which is what you generate and want to put over there to use. I'm not going to touch any of that. In fact, I'm going to use this straight, just like I just opened it, pulled in those 5 samples here. You'll see 5 different loops, and you'll see it's taking parts of each loop to create something. So let's set a tempo by touching there. We'll set like 88. Your return. Or out of there. There you go. Now we can go back to, that's for your MIDI stuff. Hold on a second. Oh, we're here. So if you want to go to settings to change something, you can go in here and change it. This is for your MIDI assign, like if you want to MIDI assign a keyboard or some type of controller that you have. And then you'll see here these tabs. You have sequencer, rearrange. So rearrange, you can move parts wherever you want them. You have reverse, so you can reverse a part. You have the density, so you can bring the density up or down. You have the volume of the sample, or even the pitch. Those can all be done. What I like to do is just hit the randomize button, which is right here, and just take whatever it gives me until I find one that I like. Now, that's just me. I have it set to complex. You can do a normal or a subtle, depending on what you want. There's even a poly mode, and then there's the different time signatures that you can choose from. So I did it in 1/16, but listen to this. So let's just, I'll turn it up from here. So you see it's repeating that. This is if you want to speed up the tempo. or pitch the whole track. You can pitch them, and mind you, whatever this is set on, like this is set on all, it's going to do it to all of these. But you can individually go in and change each one by touching the track. Or like if you want to mute some out. This thing is loaded with stuff to do. But if you just set it to all and hit this, it's literally helping you remix your song. So I can take any loops I want and put them together and do whatever I want pretty much with that loop. Whether I want to go in and create a reverse part on it or whatever, or even just like in this case, I'm doing the simple stuff where I'm just pressing a button and letting it randomly do it for me. You can freeze a track, like if you don't want certain part to change, lock it. The rest of them can be changed at that point, or you can select a different. So mind you can. It's insane. You can almost do a whole song in this, just this thing alone. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna hit it again. You see you can ratchet stuff. So let's say you like that rhythm. You're like, yeah, that's it. That's the one. All right, hit the stop button. Okay, good. Now, there's my favorite thing about this is that, and I'm getting to the point now because we're 7 minutes in. Well, one, you can spend all day sitting there messing with this, but this export button, check this out. So you can export the MIDI of one wave, all the waves together. This is all of them sequenced, right? The way you sequenced it. So, and then bring in other sounds if you wanted to and use that sequence. Or you can do with the audio is what I like to use. You can take each one of the audio wave files of each track that you have selected, or you can just take the full loop. So watch, I'm gonna hit full loop. Then it's gonna ask me where do I wanna export it. So then I can pick Koala. Now these are some older ones I had in here. Sometimes it will export, sometimes it doesn't. So what we're gonna do to make sure it works, let's come out of that. I'm gonna open up Koala, and I've shown this before. Bring Koala as a slide over. Now hit loop, and then you should be able to copy it. Not copy paste. You can't copy paste here. If this was in like a DAW thing, you could. But let me do that again. Hit loop. And then what I've been doing is just saving the file. And then you can do, like, let's go to audio share. Move this over, sorry. And just hit save. Okay, now if you want to come back in, go into Koala, hit import file. You'll see this, I believe this, that's it. So pretty cool. So these are 3 I did last night. So listen to this. So what you could do with this is your song could consist of these parts, right? You can make as many as you want, but you could say this is going to be my drums. This could be a breakdown or whatever you want to do. You got parts. You could have, and then on Koala, now that you can label something, let's say you want to label this as the main drum break. And I got to learn how to spell, right? Drum break, done. So now, I don't know if you can see that because it is kind of a distance. Let me see if I can zoom in. you'll see right there, it's main drum break, okay? This could be like, I'm just making up stuff, by the way. This could be like the chorus drum break. Go in here and select your, sorry, really? Okay, sequence. But let's say you want it to be, because this was actually done at 84, but let's say you want it to be 102, then hit stretch. Stretch, you'll see it's 8 bars. All this was made in here. So I'm just showing you options that you have that you can use. You could do it live in here actually, and then like just record that bit into Koala or wherever you're gonna use for it. But this thing is super powerful when it comes to your ability to be able to create. And if you really want to get super techy with it, you could, I don't know what that one does. I don't know that one yet. I haven't figured that out. It would be nice if they would tell you what it does, but I know it's moving stuff. I don't know. You can sit there and say, okay, I don't like the way that one starts. I want this one. And switch it up. So you can make your whole drum sequence and just, I mean, my goodness, you could have so many options. This is endless options. Change up the speed. This is nuts. Yeah. So now, in my opinion, there's never a boring loop. Like, and instead of just being like, oh, I'm just gonna take this loop and just chop it, you're sort of doing that in here, but you're getting inspiration with the chop. So you're not just like, I have to figure out what chops I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use this as like a cheat code to figure out how I'm gonna do it. So percussion would be amazing here. Of course, drums probably is the number one probably use case, but that doesn't mean that you can't use it for melodies and interesting, arrangement of chords even. You could do that kind of thing where you chop up a jazz sample, bring in like 2 to 3 different jazz samples and pitch them different. I mean, there's so many ways you could use this. I probably don't have enough time to do videos enough for it, but you have a lot of options. I mean, a ridiculous amount. And so this thing is like, I mean, how much is it? Like $9.99 at this time in the video. It's probably the best $10. Like seriously, for me personally, I'm speaking that I've bought recently an iPad that I think is the best. And it's just such a unique tool. And I did not get paid to say this. I didn't get it for free. I had to buy it myself. So I'm just saying, I like it a lot. You don't have to get it. It's not a necessity. I think somebody asked me, like, you really think it's that important? I was like, it's not a necessity, but I'm not going to sit here and come up with this many different patterns all that quick. I mean, this is, to me, helping me to develop or come up with different ideas to formulate. And for chopping samples and giving me ideas to how to play, I think it's going to be, and I haven't even got that far. I've only used it on drums, but I just know like my mind will find that next thing that I could do with it. And it's probably going to be chopping up samples from some jazz record, throwing a couple pieces of it in here, and then just seeing what I come up with. And it kind of feels like if you ever use Serato sampler, kind of feels like that vibe. Like iPad now has it in a way, you know what I'm saying? Like that Serato sample where you can find the sample, it'll kind of automatically generate a sample for you, and then you can tweak the sample. This is sort of like that. So man, this is like one of my favorite apps right now. I'm gonna be using it a lot. And I haven't been on the iPad. I mostly was on iPhone for a little while, but this kind of bringing me back to the iPad between this and, of course, I need my scaler too and all those things. But this is special. So anywho, I'll be showing you some more updates on how I use it, some other things I've come up with, ideas that you could do. And yeah, hopefully it sparks something for you too, as it has for me. And that is it on this video. So I am out, and to the next one.